Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
A General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for May 13th through 17th, 2024. We are once again virtual because I'm dying.
I think we've done more virtual in the past few weeks than we even had to do during COVID.
I think hands down this year we've done more virtual than we did during COVID. It's just been a weird year.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm sick. If you listen to the end of last week's reality check, I was like, hopefully I don't get sick literally that night. Happy Mother's Day to me.
Oh,
I start getting the sore throat and I'm like, oh no. Because that's when my son started. It's just like, oh, my throat hurts. And I was like, yeah, whatever, it happens,
Yeah.
And then he woke up the next morning. We'll get into it during reality check, but yeah, the saga continues, I guess. So I did say at the end of last week's during the reality check that we had a couple emails that we missed.
Yes.
Okay, let's gooch over. Okay. So hi, Amanda and Shannon. Thanks for your podcast on Nina and Ava. A couple things struck me about it. When we originally spoke, this is Callie. When we originally spoke in summer of 2021 on a fan spotlight, we questioned whether Carly had participated in insider trading. I had been saying that since day one. Like that week that it happened, I was like, Then there was no mention of it on the show for months. That's what I'm saying. They listened to us and then they're like, oh crap, was that? In fact, I remember an episode where Ava explains to Carly what insider trading is and tells her it's up to her, Carly, to decide what to do with that knowledge. Ava subtly encourages Carly to use this and then says, I'm shocked. How can you do this? So I guess I disagree with Amanda over Ava's role, or maybe Amanda does not recollect as I do. Hold it. Ava explains to Carly what insider trading is and tells her it's up to her, Carly, to decide what to do with that knowledge. Ava subtly encourages Carly to use this and then says, I'm shocked. How can you do this? Is she talking about Nina or not Carly?
Nina. Yeah,
okay.
she'd have to.
Okay, because I'm like, wait a second. I don't remember that. I'm uncertain if the writers knew it was insider trading when they wrote it. Maybe they heard our discussion and that's how they decided to use it in the storyline, given how long it took.
Yep.
But Ava still didn't tell her. I'm with you, though. So if she's disagreeing with you, she's disagreeing with me because we both agree that Ava did not say, you have to go do this. And she warned Nina of the consequences of her doing it.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like, and that's where the do what you will with it is. I mean, you could, but is that the right decision to be making? I don't know.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think either of us think Ava is 100% innocent, but because she gave the info, but
yeah,
she wasn't like, here, I got these deets. You need to go do something about this.
Yeah.
She's like, wait a second. No, that sounds like this is insider trading. And I think that all those conversations happened with Nina. And then many female friendships are based on common experiences, common background experiences like us. I like the Nina and Ava's friendship because they both had such messed up mothers. It easily becomes an unconscious bond and is why they can get past their hurtful behavior to each other. Said no. I have similar background experiences with people that they did not tear a baby out of me, that maybe we can bond over that one little thing, but
yeah, I feel like you and I have bonded over a lot of different similar circumstances. And still, if you induced labor and stole my baby, I would not be your friend after that.
Likewise. But then we have that bond that neither of us would do it. So then we would stay friends.
There you go. But that's what makes it a soap and makes it good.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. It easily be okay. It is also one of the reasons that drives me crazy about Carly. With Bobby's passing, she has learned to be more forgiving, except to Nina. And then I love the Drew-Carly new relationship. The chemistry is great between two strong-minded people. I think also she means Nina. The new Drew-Nina relationship. The chemistry between... Okay. I swear, I know I'm sick, but it does say Carly. I hope that they become the new power couple. Yeah, because Drew and Carly weren't a new relationship, and they just ended, and she sent this on the 10th. So yeah, they've been done for a while.
Yeah.
The relationship is the opposite of Jason and Carly, and the playoff against each other could be awesome. Let me know if there's any other GH-related events in Pittsburgh. We will have to do that. Definitely. Well, okay, we need more GH-related events in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I can't find it, but somebody did comment about how at the end of our Nina and Ava episode, we're like, wouldn't it be crazy if Carly and Nina became friends and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, but what did you basically just do a whole podcast about? The fact that Nina and Ava became friends for lesser or through greater things, you know?
Right.
I mean, I will give them that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that does make sense. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think the Drew-Nina thing is weird, but I do think that they have the opportunity to... I like him actually better with Nina than I did with Carly. I thought that it was just so whiny with Carly.
Right. I agree their personalities is a better match with him and Nina than with Carly. Mm-hmm. But it still just feels weird. And like we've talked about the flirting. I mean, he's flirting with everybody, which is like good for him. He's single. He can flirt with whoever he wants, but it's kind of confusing because there was like the flirtiness with Willow, which then that's just gross because you just slept with her mom. And then this week flirting with Jordan, like, okay.
Yeah. He might not realize that he's flirting. He could just be like, see, I do hate that though. You can't just be nice to the opposite sex without it being taken as flirting or but laugh with them.
Even you know that it was flirting. And you're, you kind of let things go over your head sometimes when it comes to that. So if even you recognize it as flirting, it was flirting, not just a guy being nice to a woman.
I've been accused of flirting when I definitely wasn't, just because I'm like, no, because I would be acting the same way if they were a girl.
Right.
Because I'm just enjoying the conversation or the company.
Right.
You know, doesn't mean that I'm not all over them.
Right.
I don't know. I grew up with boys. So, I'm the oldest of girls, but all my friends were boys when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Nicole asked, I have a way back question, something I don't actually know how. How did Tracey meet Luke? I don't remember. So, I mean, they just knew each other from being in Port Charles. And they initially got together as part of a scam, right?
Right. So yeah, he was trying to get her fortune, and they were drunk and got married. I think they got married in Vegas. We'll have to do a whole 411
about them. Let's do a whole 411 about them, because she does talk about Luke enough, and I think we can do that.
Right. But yeah, it definitely started out as a scam of Luke trying to take her riches.
Yes. Okay. And then did you see that the stage that they are filmed on is now officially the General Hospital stage? Like it has the plaque and it's been christened as the General Hospital stage. Not. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is.
And you know what was really, really weird cool? Anna Lee passed away on May 14th, 2004.
Aww.
You picked Lila without even knowing it's been 20 years since she passed, and that episode was released the day after her 20-year passing anniversary.
See, that was perfect. It was meant to be.
Yes, good job. All right, do you have anything?
Nope.
So this week on the 411, we are continuing Lila. We're just going to finish out the 80s. And then this week's Hulu headlines, I'm just going to read straight from my TV because I am in my bed right now. And I had it on. On Monday, Anna warns Carly, Nina, and Willow. Oh, wait. Anna warns Carly. Nina and Willow have a warm moment. Jordan has some unsettling news. Gregory encourages Tracey to attend the rehearsal dinner. And Michael and Sasha reconnect.
That was not reconnecting. It was just stupid.
They talked.
Right.
It's not like they sat there and really reminisced.
It wasn't like, oh, I wish things would have worked out with you and me instead of no.
Right. On Tuesday, Anna goes on a date with Valentin. Gregory and Alexis give each other good advice. Danny has a request for Jason. Drew receives a business proposition, and Nina draws a new boundary with Ava. So I also blew out my ear a little bit yesterday when I was blowing my nose. So if I really start to get loud and then not, sorry.
Okay.
I'm having a tough time regulating myself right now. Tracey gives Brook Lynn something that used to be Lila's. And that's another reason I think it's great that we're talking about Lila now, because she's been mentioned so much lately. Jason surprises everyone. Kristina and Blaze are taken aback. Jocelyn meets Gio, and Brook Lynn's cousin and a talented violinist. And then on Thursday, Gregory struggles a bit during the ceremony. Friends and family gather at the Metro Court, ready to celebrate the happy couple. And then on Friday, Brook Lynn and Chase's wedding festivities continue. Sam ropes Spinelli into a scheme to help Jason, or into work on a case, not a scheme. Finn grapples with his concern for Gregory, and Kristina witnesses another side of her father. That was great.
That was great.
Has Kristina really never seen that side of Sonny?
I don't think that she's seen him in action. I feel like she's heard him talk before and it not being so like nice, but never. I mean, Dex looked rough after that whole incident. And so I don't think she's ever seen the end result of what he's done. And the fact that Jason had to be holding him back, and he threatened Jason too. Like, Kristina loves Jason also for all of the other stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, even if she knows, she's not stupid. She knows the extent of his business. And even if he is not the one doing the task, she knows that he at least, I mean, she was struggling with Dex saying that he was being sent there to kill Cyrus. Right. You know, she knows that he's done this before. But her thing was he actually sent Dex to kill essentially a helpless man in the hospital. Right. Like, Sonny does at least appreciate a fair fight. You know, he's not going to go after someone that's weak. But was that really her problem? Or was it the fact that, you know, he asked Dex to kill Cyrus at all? Yeah, I think that she just was kind of, you know, I'm sure it's a reality you don't want to accept about your dad, that he orders people to kill people. But when you think about your dad killing somebody, it's someone who definitely like deserves it. Like, they were coming at you. You had to self-defense or whatever. And so, or like Sonny's talked about, like keeping guns and stuff out of Port Charles. Like, it was not the best thing to do, but it was worth doing it because you're protecting the general population versus this one person that you're taking out. Whereas hearing that he was trying to take out Cyrus, who, like you said, at that moment especially was just a helpless old man in the hospital, there was no real reason for retaliation there, especially when he was the one that put him in the hospital. And for this whole Dex stuff, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It sure is. That really doesn't take us anywhere because that was actually the end. I thought that was a great cliffhanger, though. It was. That was a great Friday cliffhanger. But they better not have her stress out and anything happen to the baby. Oh, yeah. They better not do that. They better not do that. No, because then TJ's going to be right. He's not going to be right, but he's going to perceive that he was right. Yes. But I don't know. They have her moving so far along in this pregnancy. She's probably due tomorrow anyway. So, I wonder if this is going to make Ava step forward and say something about the medicine. And we did get to see Valentin talking to the pharmacist. So it made sense then, because before I was like, this is just a random pharmacist. Like, how is she talking to him? Why? But then it made sense that the information would have been on the bottle and that Valentin bought off that particular pharmacist. Well, and that's what I was thinking too, because I thought that she was at least smart enough not to go to Sonny's pharmacist. Right. Because like we talked about last week,
He's been on this medication for quite some time. There's a real good chance at some point Carly or Nina were the ones to pick up the medication.
Yes.
So I don't know. I feel like if you go to pick up a monthly prescription,
The pharmacist
and if
knows.
it's the same person, yeah.
Yeah.
My husband's known at the library as the guy who picks up the murder books for his wife. Yeah. So I would imagine that the pharmacist would probably not be thinking murder, but, would at least know who his wife is.
Right. I need some murder mystery recommendations from you that aren't too adult in theme, because that's what Madeline's into now. We went to the library the other day and she's like, do you have any teen murder mystery? And the librarian's like, I can't guarantee these are appropriate for her. And I'm like, that's okay. I am just happy that she's reading, and I'll skim it and make sure there's not too much grown-up time in the murder mystery. And it's just pretty much murder mystery.
For whatever reason, immediately jumped in my head there was a Sweet Valley High book that they went to London. Hold on, let me Google this real quick. And there was a werewolf. Beware the Wolf Man.
Okay.
A savage werewolf is on the loose in London, and identical twins, Elizabeth and Jessica Wakefield, could be its next targets. On assignment for the London Journal, the twins are on the trail of the most deadly killer since Jack the Ripper.
All right.
I would recommend that. I remember, oh my gosh, it was, yep.
You're so cute.
So it was published when I was 13, and that's when I would have read it because, yep.
Very cute.
Oh, have her read that. Honest to goodness, that was the first thing that
That's funny. No, I would definitely get that for her. And then if you come across any others that aren't, she can read mature content.
Yeah.
As far as killing and whatever, because it's just, she knows it's just a book and it's not whatever. I just don't want stuff that has a romance story in the middle of it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You can say that word. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. That's why I can't read 50 Shades of Grey. That's just not my style.
That's just, in my opinion, horrible writing. So it has nothing to do with the content.
I wouldn't know, but
I tried reading that book because everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's so great, blah, blah, blah. And it was just sentence after sentence after sentence of smut, and they were not well constructed sentences. And I'm not a grammar freak because I am lucky I can spell my own name. But even I was like, this is just smut on top of smut.
See, I'm also reading the guest list right now, and there's some, it's about a wedding weekend. So there's some heated moments, but it's not just that, so.
Yeah.
All right. We're totally off topic now.
Yeah.
Crap. Was anyone reading a book this week? I didn't even see any books this week. If you have a recommendation of a good thriller, she might like Brad Meltzer too.
Okay.
He has thrillers and stuff, and a lot of them are historical fiction. So you learn something
she
too.
would like that. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. He's my favorite.
I do know that he is. I'm trying to think.
All right.
No one was reading a book this week?
I think I tried. I tried to zoom in on the books behind somebody, and I can't remember who it was. Oh well.
Anyway, back to the whole pharmacy thing. So he calls Valentin and is like, Sonny's wife was just here and she's questioning his dosage, and so I'm not playing with this anymore. And I liked that at first Valentin assumed that it was Nina. I really wanted him to say something to her and let it slip, and then her be like, what are you talking about? I didn't know that.
But Ava's been staying with him, and then have Valentin be like, oh, Ava.
Right. So.
Well, and the pharmacist's description was a pretty blonde, and Valentin's like, I know exactly who you're talking about, because there's only one pretty blonde in Port Charles.
Right.
I mean, to put in the context of also being Sonny's wife, yes, Nina. But so's Carly.
Yeah.
So for him to automatically jump to Ava, I think is a stretch, because I don't think he knows that stuff yet.
Huh.
But for him
once
to
he
just completely discount Carly.
Right. Yeah, I think my first thought would have been Carly, just because Carly is so up on his meds and like has had that whole conversation about you just don't seem right. And I know Valentin doesn't know that, but he knows that Carly, who has been there from the beginning and kind of helped him through everything. So she would notice the change first. And she has been Sonny's wife 1,000 times. So it would not be far-fetched for her to go to the pharmacist and be like, hey, I'm his wife. He's acting weird. What's going on?
Right.
Before I would have thought Nina.
Right.
So I don't know. But he got the information that he needed whenever Nina was like, no, Ava's been snuggling up to him and stepped right in, blah, blah, blah. And then she went to Ava's gallery and was like, I heard that you talked to someone on my team today because you're trying to get a spot about an art thing that's going on. And I was like, I'm not sure. Like, it seems to me like the magazine would be reaching out to Ava anyway. Like, you would want the newest stuff in your magazine. If this is a huge art something going on, you would be like, hey, we're supposed to be the fashion, like what's up and coming in all different ways. We need to feature this. And instead she's like, make sure you come to me because next time I won't be so nice.
Right.
Okay. Well, you're just going to hurt your magazine by doing that. So go
That's
ahead.
micromanagement.
That's called cutting off your nose to spite your face. And your magazine is going to fail or not be as popular because you're not including up and coming events because of who's involved in them. Like, well,
I understand because it's not just a Port Charles magazine, but you're exactly right. I mean, there's often times that we hear of events that are going on at like the MoMA or, other famous art galleries that it's like, oh, this is happening.
Right.
Like, especially because I think it's somebody that's international, right? That Port Charles is going to be the first. So like, that's a big deal is that this series is going to be in the United States for the first time. It's not just
and
Joe Schmo is moving his artwork around.
Right. And they're supposed to be so close to New York that they just go there on day trips and whatever. So it makes sense that people from New York would be like, oh, I just have to go over here an hour out of my way to see this beautiful artwork. Well, then, of course, it should be talked about in Crimson.
Yeah.
And a lot seems to happen at the Metro Court if she doesn't post anything about that because Carly's involved with it. Like, your magazine's missing out on substance just because you have had affairs with everyone's baby daddy.
Right. Like, they're not going to feature that the Quartermains, like one of the wealthiest families, had this beautiful reception.
Right.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
So Anna and Valentin did have their dinner.
They're so stupid.
And they discussed their past in a very vague way.
Mm-hmm.
And about how he always has been trying to impress her or something like that, wasn't it? Because he said something about like, it's always been you or something like that. And it's like, yeah, then why are you doing this right now, dude?
Right. I don't understand the idea of them being together anyway. Like, we know that Charlotte and Anna can't be in the same family because of the guilt that Anna feels towards Charlotte and the anger that Charlotte has towards Anna. Now, you're going to tell me that Valentin has been in love with Anna his entire life and he's just going to be her boyfriend until Charlotte comes back? Like, every summer we're going to break up because my daughter's home. And then as soon as she gets back to school, we're going to get back together. I'm sorry, but Anna deserves a little bit better than that.
Especially where they had the conversation of this isn't going to work. And I believe she did even say, I'm not going to make you choose between your daughter and me because that's not right. Like,
exactly.
That's not even something you should be choosing.
And he's like, well, that's okay. Because when my daughter goes back to boarding school, we can hang out and everything. But like, I'm just not going to share that part of my life with my daughter at all. And when she comes home, I'm not going to share my life with you at all. Yeah, that sounds like a great loving relationship. Just what every woman wants.
Very healthy. And definitely never going to be a 2020 episode.
No. So yeah, their date, I mean, I'm assuming obviously they're going to have more dates so that Anna can get more information. And that's what she was talking to everybody about this week of, oh, I'm going to see him. And Jason's like, oh, okay, good job getting information. And Jordan's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't really get any information this week other than, here, let's talk about our past.
Yeah. Well, I think that she might be looking for the more inconsistencies of him rewriting their past, maybe.
True, because that's what she was talking about this week of he says he was here, but really he was here, blah, blah, blah. So I guess if she can get him to give her a rundown of where he's been more recently, she can find those discrepancies.
Yep. And then, I guess we could talk about Anna had a good week, I think, in my opinion. She freaked out on Carly about why the heck did you go to see Brennan? And why have you ever talked about zip ties so much in your life? So my husband does walk around with zip ties in his pocket, though, because when he does the signs, he has to use them to tie them together. And all I could think of is, oh, dear God, do not go to Port Charles. Everyone's going to think you're trying to kidnap somebody.
Oh, no. I'll have to beware every time I'm at your house. That Shady's
I know.
Me. No, I thought it was funny because my ex, there's zip tie handcuffs. So that, because they only carry a couple pairs of real handcuffs on them. So if it's like a bunch of people out of control, then they have zip tie ones. And so with the Megan getting a dog, the dog was able to just keep hitting against the side of the cage and it would collapse in and then he would get out. And I was like, okay, we need to zip tie the ends of the cage so that he can't break it down. And so there was a whole conversation within our family a few weeks ago about, does dad have some zip ties? Where do you buy zip ties? Oh, I guess you can just get them at Walmart. I've never thought about what do you really use zip ties for? Blah, blah, blah. So as they were talking about it this week, I was like, oh, see, I just need a kidnapper to get some zip ties off of.
They're like safety pins and bobby pins and stuff. They just appear. You just have them. You don't know how or why.
Yeah, I was impressed. They were relatively inexpensive and they did the job. So thank goodness for zip ties.
But I love that Anna said to her, try being as smart as you think you are. That was the best line of the week. That was the best line of the week. Because Carly really didn't have a good answer. She wasn't. It was like, you just told him what we're doing. Right. She's like, you've been around. She basically said everything that we said last week. You've been around this long enough. What the heck? Right. And Carly's like, I did it because I wanted to. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, it's okay. Mm-hmm. And then Anna went to Jason and said, yeah, so I just talked to Carly. She did do the thing. You need to get her in line because she really could have just ruined this. And even Jason was confused. She did what? Well, and then Nina, so obviously Carly took her conversation with Anna to heart because she turned around and called Pentonville about getting on a visitor's list. She just told you. This is when someone says, listen, we're going to have to fix this. You just stay out of it. I'm going to fix it. And then that person goes, no, I can't. And then they make it 1,000 times worse. Yep. It's no, you don't know what you're doing. Stop. Carly can never keep her nose out of anything that has to do with Jason if she thinks that she can make it better. But I'm going to be really curious if now Sam and Spinelli are trying to investigate and figure out what's going on. And they end up in the middle of this too. I know he's in the hospital now from stabbing himself, but he's going to be like, how many people are trying to find out information on Jason? We're smart enough to hide it from you. Stop asking the same questions. Right. I could not believe that he did that to himself. I couldn't either. That was crazy. I turned away. ugh. JD was in the room when it happened, and I just covered my eyes, and I'm like, tell me when it's over. He's like, it's not as bad as other things. I'm like, I know, but still. Yeah, when he went.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax
I
covered.
meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Give it to that other guy. I thought that he was going to stab the other guy. Yeah. And that was so awful. The way he knocked that guy out, that was so awful. I feel like he slapped him on the hand basically, and that guy fell to the ground. He knew what he was doing. He intentionally had waited for someone to come in, and I feel like he intentionally was slow.
because
Yes.
he wanted to set up somebody else.
Right. He needed to explain why he was getting that someone else stabbed him. But
Yeah.
normally their fights are a little more intricate, and that was just like the guy just fell down.
Yeah. Wow, we're jumping back and forth.
Oh, that's something new.
I know. Danny went to see Jason and said that Grandma Monica was asking if he would go to the wedding on her behalf.
Yes.
She has pneumonia and she has to stay in bed. I hear you, Monica. I don't have pneumonia. I don't think.
Please don't.
So that was sweet.
That was sweet.
Oh, we forgot to mention that John went to the gallery and told Ava that she's being watched.
Yeah, that was good because she was like, no, you're not. You're just bluffing. And he was like, you were at the pharmacy and then you were here and then you were here. And she was like, oh, okay, I guess you were.
Yeah.
But that didn't really go. Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere either. Like there was a lot of, they were so focused on the wedding that everything else was just like a setup for next week. I feel like they didn't really go into anything.
Yeah, like we had Michael was surprised at Sasha because of their past. They didn't end on, they ended on bad terms, but not bad terms. It was.
Right. It was like a mutual thing. They were friends afterwards.
Right.
And that they may not hang out like just the two of them because that would be weird, but they hung out plenty of times afterwards.
Right.
So I don't understand why it was such a big deal.
But he did ask Cody what his intentions were with Sasha. I thought that was nice.
That was nice.
And then Jordan went and told Stella and Trina that Laura's looking into Heather's illness to see. I was glad to see Stella had her medical hat on, though, and was like, that if this was one of our family members, we would be doing the same thing.
Right.
So I was really glad to see that.
I didn't understand the bottle of wine with Sasha and
Cody.
Yes, thank you.
I think it was just that they were drinking a really expensive bottle of wine, wasn't it?
Was that it? Who
I think.
Had she opened it the night before, or one of the Quartermains had?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
That was last night. I watched it too, but yeah.
Okay. It seemed like they were putting so much importance on that bottle because he was like, this is like a really, really expensive bottle. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't want it to go to waste. There was one cup out of it yesterday, or one glass out of it yesterday. And so they like continue talking. And I was like, is this going to be like some anniversary bottle of wine that she's going to get fired over? Like, why are we harping on this bottle of wine?
Oh my gosh, though, what if it is? What if it was a bottle of wine that Ned and Lois bought when Brook Lynn was born to have when she got married?
Oh, wow. You're going deep.
Well, I'm thinking like maybe there was something significant with the wedding. Like they only had one glass the night before and then they're going to finish it after,
Yeah.
And Sasha really should give it another day or two before assuming that it's not going to be finished.
Yeah, she was like, it'll be bad by tomorrow. And I was like, if it was corked, it shouldn't be bad by tomorrow.
No, red wines, hold on. I think it was 3 days.
I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I had missed something the day before where it showed someone uncorking it and being like, this is our blah, 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 blah. And so that's what they were getting at, was she was going to get in trouble, or why Cody just kept talking about, this is such an expensive bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I'm glad if I missed it, you did too.
I just remember when I was a bartender, we had to date our wines.
Oh, okay.
And so I think it was 3 to 5 days was red.
Okay.
And I drink red wine, but I just don't let it sit for 3 to 5 days. I did think it was sweet though that they had like a little old radio and that they were dancing. That was sweet.
That was sweet. I like them moving forward together.
What else happened outside of the wedding? Oh, Nina and Drew talked and Willow practiced her PSA.
Yeah. Sorry, that was so boring. It's like, why even?
I know. And then Jordan and Drew talked about the revitalization project thing.
I liked all her ideas.
Yeah, he needs to start giving her credit for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do like that they're giving Jordan this stuff to do, though.
Right.
Because they've not been using her very well lately.
No, they haven't. But yeah, I love the ideas of using the railway to have people come in so they don't need as much parking. and being able to go from Canada or from there to Canada so that it's now like an international port. Like, I want to go visit it after it's all built.
Well, so they said that currently it takes like almost 3 hours to get from Port Charles to Toronto. It takes an hour and 40 minutes from Buffalo, and it takes 2 hours and 46 minutes from Rochester.
Okay.
So still not sure which city it's at. 'Cause haven't we been thinking it was Buffalo?
Yeah.
So who knows now? No, but I like that too. And then the congressman came and talked to Drew about his conviction, and which again, where was he? I mean, I feel like this probably would have been front page news, right?
Right.
And now he's suggesting that Drew be a politician.
Yeah.
And changing his last name to Quartermain.
Right. And this would have been the perfect opportunity for Drew to be like, actually, a lot of this great idea is not mine. It's Jordan's. So
right.
A lot of the credit that you're giving me for being so smart is not even my ideas.
No, but he's not going to do that.
Of course not.
I think that really was it outside of the... Gregory asked Tracey to fill in if he couldn't make the wedding. And then he and Alexis talked about Finn. And he gave Alexis his 7th grade debate award. That was sweet.
Yes, that was sweet.
I think that was it outside of the wedding.
That was it. But I wasn't sure. I felt like it was weird that they had other stuff flipping through the wedding, but we didn't get to see like Alexis waiting for her trial or whatever. Like, not that I feel like we needed that, because I just really want to know the verdict and then move on. But it felt weird to me that there wasn't even like a flash of her sitting in a hotel room or walking into a boardroom or something like that.
Right. Okay. But if that had happened, we'd have been saying that could have waited until next week.
That's true.
So we'll give them that. They waited until next week.
Yes.
So now the wedding. My colors were also pink and purple.
Mm-hmm. It was very pretty.
It was so pretty.
I wasn't sure why Willow was a bridesmaid.
Neither was I.
Okay.
I think it's because of Michael. I think it has to do with the Quartermain.
Okay. I was glad that it was Maxie that was the maid of honor, because if they would have swapped those, I would have been angry.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we knew that it was Finn and Dante.
Mm-hmm.
Tracey told Ned that he's a good father.
Yes.
He's a very good father. And she apologized for missing the wedding to Lois.
Mm-hmm. And that was another moment where they she was looking at the picture of her mom and dad and like reminiscing about the Quartermain heritage. And I was like, oh, Lila, we're talking about you.
Tracey was really, really good this week.
She was.
And the whole Cerullo side of the family showed up. I did like all of the lead up to it, with Lois having her private time with Brook Lynn saying, you need to thank yourself because you knew what you wanted and you didn't settle for anything less. Like, you didn't even try to make somebody else fit your... Like, you waited until you found the right guy, and then you fell head over heels. Right.
I liked Tracey comforting Gregory and being like, it's okay, take your time, and then everyone just kind of waited, and then he got through the ceremony just fine. And I loved
he had told her the night before that she needed to be ready to fill in for him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was glad that he was able to fulfill his duties. But then I loved that Chase was like so excited. He had the vows memorized, and then they like wrote their own vows, but they had it cutesy and romantic. Like, I liked that they weren't too serious, because I just don't like whenever they stand up there and are like, my life was nothing until I met you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not true. You had a whole life before them and whatever. And so they were cute the way that they talked about how they got together and everything.
Yeah. And then before they were, like, the night before with the rehearsal dinner, was that? Yeah, that was this week. Because that's when Finn or Gregory told Tracey. But Finn was saying that he didn't think that Gregory was going to be able to handle the wedding.
Right.
And then he came out all dressed up, and Violet said that he looked Debbie Downer, but she meant Debbie
Debonair. That was so cute.
He's the cutest. And then we met Giovanni Palmieri, Gio, and he asked specifically if Sonny was going to be there.
Yeah.
Why?
I think because he wanted to thank him. Because at the reception, he did thank him because Sonny had put him through college or had paid for his first 2 years of college so that he could learn his instrument better and follow his dream. So I think it was just a sincere, hey, I haven't seen him in years. I want to tell him thanks for paying for this for me.
True.
But they like had that like moment where you thought that him and Joss were going to hit it off, and then it never really showed them again. And she was making goo eyes at Dex the whole time.
Yeah. And Spinelli talked to Anna about getting back with Maxie, and he was so cute because he's like, "You're her godmother. What do you think?"
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Go for it."
Yeah. I was surprised that Maxie said she loved him.
Yes.
Like, she went right in for it.
Yeah.
And then Sam ruined his moment to say it back, because that was whenever she pulled him away and was like, "You have to help me figure out what's going on with Jason and get him out of this."
Spinelli seeing Jason for the first time. It's been 2 months.
It was so cute.
That was the sweetest.
So cute. I feel like
It
it was
has
even
been 2 months. Like,
I don't know, but I feel like it was even better for those of us who have seen them in person, because their relationship, whenever they do their show, is so silly and funny like that. But at the same time, heartfelt, that whenever you saw them together on screen, it was like, oh, guys, you're back together.
Right. I mean, they do their podcast and everything, but that's...
Right. On screen as their characters was just really cute.
Yeah. And then Drew and Jordan sat together.
Yeah, that was all. Whatever.
And they had their picture taken together by Lois.
Right. And that was like way too much of like them complaining. If I was standing next to you at a wedding and someone came over and was like, "Here, let me take your picture," I wouldn't be like, "Oh, we're not together," blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, okay, we're going to stand here and say cheese. Even if it was like you and one of your friends that I was not close with, I wouldn't be like, "Oh no, they're completely separate than I am."
Right. Oh, and Tracey let Brook Lynn call her granny for the day, and she gave her Lila's bracelet.
Yes, that was very sweet.
And Gloria came with Carmine. He's a recast. I did check that.
Yeah.
And you talked about Gregory freezing up, and Tracey helping him. So when the wedding was over, though, they all rushed up to the altar instead
that was weird.
The church.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was very weird. And I thought it was weird that they had rice instead of birdseed.
They had birdseed.
I don't think they had birdseed. Are you sure? I thought it was rice.
Leo asked, and Olivia said something about, "Oh, you're not going to throw the..." Because I think it was when Violet asked somebody.
Leo said, "I'm not hungry." When they handed him the...
I think he said, "I can't eat this."
Oh, I thought he said, "I'm not hungry right now."
Somebody specifically said birdseed. It was Olivia specifically.
What was that word?
I don't even know. Said birdseed. I think it was when Violet was like, "Can you take me to get ready for..." And I'm sorry, she didn't even change outfits. What the heck does she have to get ready for? She had to pick up her guitar.
Yeah.
She didn't even have to pick up her guitar.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It was a cute song.
It was so cute.
That was very cute.
Oh, that was very, very sweet. I did like Jordan and Portia in the bathroom, both questioning why they were invited, because because I kept trying to figure out why were Portia and Curtis invited. I could not. Jordan, I was like, "Oh, police department." Okay.
Yeah, and then they asked Olivia, and she's like, "I don't know. You'd have to ask Tracey or Lois." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll talk to Lois about it." And I thought, but you really wouldn't. Like, would you really ask someone, "Why did you invite me?"
Right. If you thought it was a pity invite, do you even attend? Like, you have that thought when you get the invitation.
Right.
Not a pity invite, but like an mandatory.
Yeah.
Not mandatory, but someone that feels the need that they have to invite you.
Yeah, obligation, like you were going to say.
Yeah, but it wasn't coming out, so. And Drew was all bitter towards Jason.
Yeah. I thought it was weird that they had Lois's mom be like, "Oh, Jason, are you a doctor?" Like, Lois wouldn't have brought up that whole accident and everything at all to her mom.
But he didn't lie, because she said, "Oh, this is Jason Quartermain." And she basically said, "Did Jason Quartermain ever become a doctor?" No, Jason Quartermain did not become a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. And then, the Brooklyn chaser was served. I was really hoping that those were the ingredients. All it said was like, "Cheers to the happy couple."
Yeah, that would have been fun to try.
Oh, Finn sipped the champagne
He did.
and almost lost. Like he almost broke down.
Yeah.
I really want him to tell Liz or call Alexis.
That's what I was waiting for. I know that Alexis is obviously off doing something important, but she would have stopped and listened to him. Like they're in this together.
Right.
But I felt bad for him because he had set it down like, no, I'm not drinking this. Thank you, sir. And then he was just like caught up in the moment of cheers. And then he was like, oh crap, what did I just drink?
Yeah. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I hope that he doesn't backslide.
Right.
He can't because he's already been on probation too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that Gio's dad died before he was born. Is he going to be Drew's kid too?
Oh God, I hope not.
He wasn't enlisted until 2002.
Can't we just have him know him? Can't Drew be like, I knew your dad. Here, let me tell you about him.
Yes, I would like that.
That would be very nice. And that
And
would
I know
also
our
explain-
kids' ages, like our kids are adults now, but it was just so weird hearing this. He looks like such a young kid. And he's like, yeah, he died before I was born. He didn't enlist until 2002. And it's like, okay, so wait a second here. That means you're our kid's age, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I
they
would like
didn't-
it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if they're trying to make it like maybe Joss is going to have an interest in him, and that's going to be our summer story, because we know summers when they try to hook the younger crowd of is Joss going to go with Dex or with him, it would make sense if he struck up a friendship with Drew instead of Dex, because Drew could know someone his dad's age, and so he could like be mentoring him, and the kid could come over to hear stories about his dad and blah 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 blah. Where I feel like as much as Dex is nice about it and would be happy to talk about it, Dex was obviously not over there in 2003 or 2,
Right.
so he has very limited what he can discuss with the kid to begin with.
Yeah. They did not even talk about Jackie once.
Nope.
About why she wasn't there, anything. But Chase danced with Lois,
Mhm.
and then Brook Lynn danced with Gregory, and Chase danced with Gloria, and then Violet. It was so cute.
It was very cute.
I thought this was probably one of the best weddings that they've done in a while.
I agree. It was tasteful, and it had like the special memories as far as her wearing Lila's dress and the present from Lila, or the brooch from Lila, and all that kind of stuff. But then it also incorporated like their personality, and they talked about him being a cop and everybody else being a cop and blah blah blah. I just liked it. Felt like enough. Sometimes they do it and it's like they downplay it or they overplay it, and you're just kind of like, either you want more or you're exhausted by it. Like it was a real wedding. And this felt like just enough.
Oh, the only other thing. Of course, Natalia would wear white to somebody else's wedding.
Uh-huh. I better talking to Maxie about, I'll just have to have our accountant go over your accounting books. Well, and Maxie looked right at her and was like, you don't get invited to parties very often, do you?
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that because they also brought, I mean, life does not stop happening at a wedding. You know,
Right.
you're often talking about other stuff. So I am glad that nothing happened with Gregory and his illness, though.
Yes, me too.
Other than.
Right. It was a minor setback. They just needed to wait a couple extra minutes, but then he got to go through with it, because I just wouldn't have liked it as much if Tracey had to do it.
Yep. Okay, I think that was actually it for the week. I thought it was a good week. I thought it was a good week.
It was. It held my attention more than some of the past weeks have.
Yeah.
Reality check.
So what's your reality check?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's nothing fun. It's all the same medical stuff. My mom is out of the hospital and she's doing well, so that's good. I've checked on her a few times this week, and all of Ryan's stuff is going well, so I'm hoping that they switch him over to just a regular antibiotic like pill instead of me having to do all the pick line stuff, because it scares me on top of just being scary. Like, scary is the only word I can use. Like, it doesn't even gross me out. It's just like, I really don't want to kill you.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say like you don't want the responsibility, but we talked about this. You're not medically trained. You're not
exactly
in the medical field. So Yeah, it's scary to be the one. I don't know. I feel like that's a big deal to be responsible for. It's not the same thing as, having to give your kid eye drops or something,
Right. Right. Exactly. It's
obviously you're doing a good job if things are going well, and they might soon put him on the pill. So,
well,
yay.
Thanks. But yeah, it's still scary. And then I'm still not sure exactly what's wrong with Megan. She has a bunch of appointments coming up. So I will keep you posted as we figure that out. But I'm trying to focus on the positive. We have like less than 2 weeks left of school. Megan is graduating, and she proved me wrong with a lot of her grades, because I was the one who said I didn't think she was motivated enough to do online school. And she did actually pull almost all but one is a B, ended with a B. So I was very proud of her, but I just want it to be done. I know that's awful, but the stress of all of it, can we just be done?
I gotcha. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's it. We have a picnic tomorrow for our Girl Scout troop, our end of year picnic. So that'll be fun. We're tie-dyeing shirts. So.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad that this worked out, that we were able to record on Saturday then for you.
Yes, that way I didn't have to try to rush, but like it didn't start till later, but so I didn't have to rush or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it worked. It worked out.
To just have like one thing a day.
Yes. So, although I'm sad that you're dying, because I would have rather see you in person than see you over Zoom.
I know. Eventually, I will see you again. I promise. Well, some of it's been you too, though. So it's just been.
Oh, absolutely.
We have been taking turns. It's just like the first half was you, and now it's like, yeah. So I think that we were going to be virtual this week anyway, just because now. Oh, are you done with yours? I'm sorry.
Yeah, done.
Well, I was going to say, I'm like, because now my aunt's sick too. So
yeah, she's having a rough go of it.
So far this month, started out strong on May 1st was when she tore her ACL, and then had to get the MRI, and then we find out that she has blood clots, and thank goodness we found out. Right. And then we talked about it last week. My son was sick, and we joked, "Ha, I can't get sick."
We need to stop making that joke.
Because then, happy Mother's Day to me. I started to get the sore throat Sunday night. I was like, "Oh shoot." And then, what was I saying? And I've seriously slept most of the week, and it's been bad because like I still have stuff I have to do. And thankfully, I'm thankful that I was able to cancel stuff. So that worked, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to need done next week. So, I don't know. I somehow luck out though, that when I get sick, it happens, I guess when I'm don't have a lot going on for work. I don't know. Or a lot that I have to be in person for, at least. But yeah, it's just been. I finished the new season of Bridgerton.
Oh, I only watched the first episode, so I have to get caught up.
It's good. It's good. And then, oh yeah. So then last night, probably like a half hour or so before I was getting ready to go to bed, I just rubbed my eye and noticed some junk, and I went, no. I'm getting pink eye. And JD was like, no, you're not necessarily. And I looked at it and I was like, no, I said, I am. I said, it's getting dry. It's getting itchy. I said, and this junk is, I'm like, I can tell the difference because I used to get it when I was little, when I was a kid. I haven't had it in probably like 30 years.
Right.
So, I text you and I was like, so we're probably gonna have to do virtual. And you're like, that's great. Can we do tomorrow? But the thing that stunk about it was my daughter and I were supposed to go to a women's retreat for our church last night until today. And it was just supposed to be ending, it's about noon on Saturday. It was supposed to be ending around 1. So I had to cancel our attending that, but she understands. But still doesn't alleviate the disappointment.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much I've just been sick and dying.
No dying.
So yeah, JD and my daughter are not allowed to get sick. And do you know that we've had 10 tornadoes in Pittsburgh in May?
No, I didn't know it was that many. Wow.
We usually get 6 a year is our average. And that's only been recent years. It used to be you'd get one every 2 to 3 years. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. There were 3 last night, and one was like right down. I actually took some video of this because, of course, instead of going into the basement, we decided to go out on the front porch and see, because they said that one was maybe like 5 minutes down the road. It wound up being more 10 minutes down the road, but the way that everything was moving, it was moving away from us. But we could see kind of like the circulating cloud. It was kind of weird.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, there's something going on this month.
Yeah, I was driving to pick up Emily right whenever all the alerts started going off, and it was pouring. And like Madeline's in the back seat the whole time talking, like, we can't really get one, can we? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we can, but like it's rare and blah blah blah, like trying to talk her down so she would not be scared. But as like it was pouring, I was like, okay, you can stop now.
Yeah. Well, see, when I got the alert, I looked out the window and I was like, there's not even a gentle breeze.
Yeah.
And then I went out to the living room because I really have been. I do try to contain myself to my room if I'm sick. That way I'm not cross-contaminating everyone. Excuse me. But like there was nothing. And then it started to slowly pick up. And it was actually it was right when JD got home from work. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, do we go down to the basement? Because that's where Erica's sick. So Erica's down in the game room sleeping.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, at what point do we just go?
Yeah.
You know, thankfully we didn't have to. One of the ones from last night was where I grew up. Well,
yes.
in my hometown area, like hop, skip, and I shouldn't say that in reference to a tornado. One of my friend's houses. And so like I text her, I was like, you guys okay? She goes, yeah, we didn't even get an alert.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, and it could have been at her house. The one that was close to us wasn't, it was close to us, but it wasn't that close to us.
Right.
The one that was close to her was.
Okay.
Like the one that was close to us was actually about 20, 25 minutes away. It wasn't as they were just saying, but I'm like, okay, this is the side of our area that I live on. Like your side of the area, you're like, oh, if something's happening in Penn Hills and Verona, you're like, that's not that close.
Right.
For me, it is.
Yes. No, well, that's why it was funny because Emily works in Penn Hills. So I was like, I'm driving into the storm instead of away from it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Guess we've just had an interesting week. So we'll see what happens next week. Yay.
Well, I hope the next week's not as interesting if it involves people getting sick and all of that.
Me too. But join us on Thursday as we talk up more about Lila.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy? Uh-huh. No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.